I'm Shannon. This is my tiny house. I live in here part-time with 2 boys and full-time with a 70-pound English Bulldog. And we just moved here 3 weeks ago, and for now this is home. And we are renting our spot from a wonderful person in the Pacific Northwest in Washington. And we're out in the sticks and have no cell signal half the time. And it's life, it's home. The exterior of my house, it's on a 30-foot trailer that is an Iron Eagle trailer out of Portland. Phenomenal company. They did awesome. Went with a bay window because I'm sort of a plant fanatic. A lot of people are minimalist. I sort of am when it comes to stuff in my house, but I have a storage unit for outdoor gear because Pacific Northwest, I'm sort of a gear junkie. So I've got some metal corbels that we had done. I love them. They're branches. We wanted something different instead of just a square block of wood for the structural support for our lofts. The lofts are extended out by about 3 feet. So the lofts are 8.5 by 11 feet, which gave us extra square footage. I think it's roughly about 450 for our house. And then we went with the metal siding. It's low maintenance, easy, and then we wanted to break it up with the cedar. Of course, we're in the Pacific Northwest, so cedar goes really well here. I had a friend bring me 30 pallets, and I'm like, what am I gonna do with all these pallets? So pallet wall, pallet deck. The cabin has a septic system. I'm not on the septic system, but we wanted to make it a little prettier area and keep the kids away from it and the dog out of it. So we built a pallet wall, and we've got wisteria planted on it, and I've moved a bunch of plants and put a garden in, and by this next spring it'll start taking over, and by summer it should look really, really pretty, creating a little yard. So fire pit, deck, making something a little nicer than what was a pasture. That's what was here when I moved the house, is complete field and blackberries. 3 weeks transformation, it's not too bad. I've got a shed that's built on the back, and I've got my Instant Hot, which is a fairly large Instant Hot, and my plumbing and my electrical system, and then the gas also, the propane comes in through the shed. This is the front of my house. So we've got the awning off of Amazon. It's great. You can actually buy multiples and extend them for windows. Eventually I'll probably have one over a couple windows, but it works great for the front door. And the front door is a live edge slab with epoxy work and metal work. We went with an arch door because originally I wanted a round hobbit door, and I absolutely love trees. So I wanted tree metal work on it. And it was trial and error because the first epoxy work split and we had to router it out and redo the epoxy pour. And then we traced the tree, routed out all the work, and then inlaid the metal, and then did more epoxy work in all the cutouts. It is a very heavy door, and it will kill your hand if you slam it in it. But it's a fabulous door, and I absolutely wouldn't change a thing about it. So, would you like to come in? This is my living room, and this is the boys' ladder up to their loft, which is safer than just a plain ladder that goes up. We've only had one mishap where they've missed a step and ended up on the couch, which is great. A full-size couch, there is no storage in this couch. It is a flat-out regular couch. I've got a bay window with storage underneath. And plants. I'm a big fan of plants. I've got 2 boys, so we've got Legos and books and a full-size TV. Lots of natural light in here. And we have our NV heater, which I absolutely love. We've got 2 of them in this house. We usually kick them on in the evening and kick them off in the morning. It warms up in this house really well. We have rigid foam insulation in the walls and a double layer in the ceiling, and half the time we are opening windows up in the evening to let out some of the heat in this house. This is the boys' loft. We have 2 twin beds up here, and they each have 4 cubbies, 2 for toys and 2 for clothes, and a shelf for their extra little knick-knack toys, whatever they want. We've got books up here, and this is the cleanest it will ever be, because when they are here, it is a complete and utter disaster because they are 10 and almost 12. It still holds up well to 2 boys. They've not broke anything, and it's an 8.5 by 11 and enough space for 2. I'm in a transitional part of my life right now, so I happen to be going through a divorce after spending 19 years with my partner, and this house has pretty much saved me. So it's allowed me to get out from being with someone I couldn't be with any longer and still be able to have my house and be able to have the boys come to a place that they know and are comfortable in without having to be so far away, because I've moved the house only 10 minutes down the road from where they're used to being. So 10-minute drive, they're at their dad's, and they're still within 12 minutes of my parents. So the boys like the tiny house. They love their loft. They are learning some good habits. We got rid of a lot of their stuff, but we let them choose on their special stuff that they kept, which also cut down on their relatives giving them stuff. For birthdays, it's one small gift and we do an experience. We go somewhere, we do something. What do we get to do instead of what am I getting? So it's been a good transition. We wanted a table in here. It is a big deal for me to have family meals, and we homeschool, and I absolutely love the ocean. So all of the inlay agates came from the Oregon coast, and we did another live edge piece. It matches the door, live edge benches. So what we did is we went into an RV and measured out their dimensions for the table and benches to make sure that we had enough seating area for 4. I think this table took about 3 months to do. And again, absolutely love live edge and epoxy work, and it holds up and it's a sturdy table. I've got plants and I stand on the table in order to water my plants. Okay, so this side of the house has the kitchen and then my loft stairs, which I use for storage. So we have my workout area. So I've got weights and a yoga mat, and we have shoe storage, and we have homeschool storage. That's all of our homeschool work that we do. And then open shelves for food, and we've got a coffee nook and a toaster. And then we've got more live edge. So this matches again with the table and the door. We have more inlaid agates. And then I love cooking, and I wanted to make sure that I had a big enough sink that I could put a pot in if I had to clean it. That was something that I noticed a lot of the tiny houses didn't have, was a full-size sink with a drain rack. So that's what I wanted. I have a hard time with stuff on the countertops. So we use the sprayer that most people use for doing detail work on cars, the HPLV sprayer, and we did a Play-Doh blue, which everybody looked at me like I was insane going with a Play-Doh blue, but we did a Play-Doh blue, dark blue, a teal, and a black layer in order to get the effect on the cabinets. So I think we ended up doing 5 different sprays and then a clear coat on them. And they've held up really well with the dog and the boys. I've not had a lot of nicks and scratches in them, which has been great. It's been a year now, and I am completely happy. And we actually went with the paint that we used. It's called Unicorn Spit. And it is a phenomenal paint, and you can use it on plastic and I think metal and wood, and it smells really good. It smells like perfume. But again, I love the ocean, and blue is my favorite color, so that's what we went with. And open shelves. I don't do a lot of dishes, and I wanted something easy for the boys to grab, so the boys can come and grab a bowl or cup or plate and not ask mom to grab stuff for them, which is really nice. So this is a continuance of my loft stairs. I've got a cabinet here. It helps with the structure of holding up the stairs. We went with a regular base cabinet. Again, it's really great for structural. I haven't had too many problems with things shifting, with moving and having boys trump up and down because they don't walk. They tend to try to jump down my stairs and it's held up nice. We just have small supports. So the tree came from a little store on the Oregon coast. I absolutely loved it. I've actually had it for I think like 17 years, 16 years. So, and I think the shop's still there. So this is my kitchen area and the bathroom, and we went with a ductless hood. I cook a lot, and I've got a propane stove, which I believe came out of Canada. Absolutely recommend the Unique. They work great. The heat's stable. They're easy to maintain and easy to clean. And then we just did the metal sheeting to sort of protect the walls from splatters and grease and heat. Which comes in handy, especially when you're cooking and teaching an 11-year-old how to cook. Things tend to get a little bit of a mess. We've got more epoxy work and more agate inlays and more plants over here. And then we've got a sliding barn door that we custom built. And a full-size bathtub. And then a full-size stacked washer and dryer. The dryer is a gas. Absolutely love it. Wouldn't have it any other way, especially with 2 boys and a 70-pound dog. So that means quilts, dog beds, dog blankets, and muddy jeans, which would not go into an all-in-one washer and dryer. It just would not work for a regular family for us. And then we have a composting toilet and IKEA. Which is great for their sinks. I love it. It can be a little tricky with the boys and having them close enough when they brush their teeth. I just tell them to make sure that they move over the sink, or I tell my oldest one to go brush his teeth in the kitchen. Alright, and so I'm going to take you upstairs to my loft, and these are my loft stairs. So we went with basic piping and we just did the pine in order to match the walls. So you guys can come on up. These are a little bit taller than your typical stairs, but still very functional. And I'm so short that I don't really have to duck down too bad. And this is my loft, which is another 8.5 by 11. And so I've got shelves on either side, and I have my clothes storage with 2 cubbies and then 2 spots for hanging clothes. It's cozy. And with a metal roof, it sounds phenomenal when it rains. I love my parking situation, yes. So right now I'm renting a spot on 15 acres from a phenomenal woman who has opened up her land to me. I have free reign to plant whatever I want to plant, to build what I want to build. We're getting ready to build a chicken house here soon, a chicken coop. I pay a rent and it covers all of my utilities. So I pay $400, which covers the power, the water, the trash, and the Wi-Fi. So it couldn't be any better. And I help with the maintenance. I do weed eating and take care of plants and help clean up. But it's fun. It's fun work, and it keeps me busy. And I get free reign to pretty much do what I want to do. You don't need the huge space. For some, I guess they do, but it's not very cost effective. I think we put in about $40,000 to $45,000 into our materials, and we did all the work. So, and then I could double it if I wanted to sell it, or I can rent it. But for me, I like the smaller space. I don't have to take as much time to clean. The boys have less stuff, even though I do have a storage unit for excess gear for outdoor use. It's not knick-knacky, collectible extra clothes that I don't need. Like most people see if they follow me on Instagram. I have 2 pair of Carhartts, I have a few pair of jeans, a couple of flannels, hoodies, and that's my everyday. You cut down on all the extra. It's just, don't need it. Go have fun. Go outside. Go get away. Enjoy people in your life. That's, to me, that's what it's about. The people. Thank you guys for coming out to the sticks and seeing my house. And if you want to see more, I'm on Instagram at Shannen's Tiny.
Thank you for watching our video and for stopping by Tiny House Expedition. I'm Alexis.
And I'm Christian. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe.
And for more tiny home tours and stories, click the videos below.
And join us on Patreon for bonus content,
including face-to-face conversations with us. We hope to see you there.
All right.
Thanks, guys.
Have a good one.